welcome back to another video. Today's video is all about trolling motors. Just about a year ago, you seen me do the install video on this. At that time, I was a couple weeks ahead in videos, so I've had this trolling motor on this boat for about a year, and I think it's time to do just an honest review of what I think about this MotorGuide Xi3, because there's a few things here and there that I think we should talk about. So let's get into it. When we first installed it, it was just a plain Xi3, remote control and the trolling motor. It was not a GPS or nothing like that. So it came with this remote here. You can see it. Just plain left, right, speed control, and a prop on and off switch. And then not too long after, I used that for a while. When I initially bought it, I decided that I would just buy the plain one first because I wasn't 100% on how I was going to feel about the remote control, and it turned out I really liked it. So I wanted to go to the GPS. So not too long later, I added the GPS module to this trolling motor, so this is a GPS unit now. And that would be this remote. It's a little dirty, it's got some fish scales on it right now. There. So, sorry I had to cut that there. My dog was getting a little close to the road. I had him running loose while I was doing this, but I couldn't really watch him good, so put him up till we get done with this. Anyway, so we added the GPS to this motor, and I really, for the most part, I really like this motor. This boat, this home, is a 16-foot to 87 bass tracker. Guide Special V16 is the model. So it's not just a super heavy boat. This is a 52-pound 12-volt trolling motor, and it'll wide open. It'll pull this boat about 3.5 miles an hour, which is way quicker than you'd ever need it. And it does good in the current and everything like that on the river. The biggest problem, we'll just do that first. The biggest problem that I see, and I honestly think it's just the GPS satellite communication type stuff. If you're under a bridge, whether it be like Highway 431 in Guntersville, there's twin bridges. If you're under there, sometimes it'll get a little confused. It'll move around a little more when you've got it on spot lock. But otherwise, the GPS works great. This has the heading lock right here, and it's been really handy for working down the fronts of docks and just sort of skipping under them. You know, you get it on a certain line, the wind's not blowing just a whole lot. You mash that button and you keep a constant speed, just troll down through there and skip docks. It's a lot of fun and it makes it a lot easier. This thing is, I think out the door total what I've got in this trolling motor is just over $1,000. I did some looking before I bought it initially and buying it without the GPS module. It did not save any money to like just buy it as a whole unit. The cost was no different, just buying the plain unit and then later adding the GPS module. So if you're questioning the remote control, I would definitely recommend going that route. However, I can't see, I mean, yeah, every once in a while it's a little aggravating that I've got to like reach down and grab this remote when I'm really fishing, but all the buttons are so quick and you learn where they are so fast. I mean, when this hangs around my neck, it's right here. Normally when I'm wearing a GoPro, it's right underneath the GoPro, and I just know where all the buttons are and I never have to look down. So I like remote control. The prop on this thing, it's been running for a year now. Guntersville has a lot of grass, and I fish Weiss some, you know, I've had it in the sand. I've run over some stumps with it, and I'll pick you up and show you here real quick. The prop is not really eat up bad at all. The edges of it are still pretty smooth. You can see it's got a few little nicks here and there, some surface scratches on the actual blades, but all in all, it is in really, really good shape. So he has held up well. Now, the only other thing that I want to talk about is the only thing that I've seen, and I'll show you here, when you let it down. See, I don't know if I can get it to go all the way down. Yeah, my spare tire thing's in the way here. But every once in a while you have to play with this little release button here. It sort of seems like it wants to get bound up. Now that it's been on there for a while, but it all still locks in really well. Connectivity, I've had no problems. It was easy to set up all the GPS stuff, and as far as I'm concerned, it works really well. I've catfished on the river. I do a lot of catfishing around the feed mills here on Guntersville Lake. So, you know, to be able to just get out there, face the wind usually where they're at, and just set up. Once you get it, if you can face the wind first, generally, you can save yourself a little heartache of, like, if you're not facing the wind, eventually the boat's going to turn around anyway. So you might as well just go ahead and face the wind, get that, and it'll find its position pretty quick. And then you're within, you know, a few feet of where you are. You know, I'd have to tighten my lines up a little here and there, but it beats pulling up and dropping anchor, because in these, what you like to call, I don't know what you would say, lakes where they're using there's a lot of barge traffic. So like the Tennessee River, you know, dropping an anchor, you're gonna have to pull your anchor up if a barge comes through. This, all I gotta do is hit a button and then run my speed up. I can move out of their way, they can do their thing, and then when they get gone, I get back over there and go back to fishing. So it's really just super simple. So a year in, honest opinion, would I buy this trolling motor again? 100%. MotorGuide has not the name that Minn Kota does, and I'm not saying that Minn Kota's not a fantastic trolling motor. Up until this, all I had ever owned was Minn Kotas. I've still got the Minn Kota off of my old boat, is in my storage building here. It's a Riptide. Maybe it's a 55 pound. It's a front mount trolling motor, but it's got the steer handle, sort of like what you'd have on the back of the boat. And I love that trolling motor. I have it here in case I build a boat, you know, and I need to throw a trolling motor on it or something for somebody. But MotorGuide, like I said, doesn't quite have the reputation that Minn Kota does, but I do think that this is a fantastic trolling motor for the money. You know, this was the cheapest way in with a reputable brand. You know, you can find stuff on Amazon, the Haswing stuff. I have no idea. I don't have any experience. There's a lot of people on YouTube and TikTok that I've been seeing using them, and that's great. I hope that they work out for those folks. But I knew that I wanted to stay with something Minn Kota or MotorGuide, and you know, I'm on a budget just like everybody else is, so I wanted to go with the cheapest option, and I was hopeful that I wouldn't regret it, and so far I haven't. Like I said, I've had this thing for a year. I did rewire it, not the trolling motor itself, but I did change the way it was wired in the boat. I was having some connecting issues, some power loss stuff, and I changed that around, and it's been smooth sailing since. So that was all on me. But yeah, this thing's been great. I can honestly recommend this trolling motor to anybody. Xi3 is great if you need to stay in the 12 volt range. My boat being the size that it is, I really don't have room for multiple batteries, more than the two that I have. I've got the trolling motor battery, and then I've got the battery that is a cranking battery and a deep cycle, so I can use it to start the big motor and then run all my electronics. So this motor is on its own battery, and it's 12 volt, and I'm trying to save weight as much as I can in this small boat. So, you know, that's where we are. I had to stay with the 12 volt, so 52 pound and 52 pound thrust and 12 volt has been great on this boat. I would say if you're in a 16 foot boat or less, this would be all the trolling motor you're probably ever going to need. And it's great. I know that they do make a foot pedal for this motor. I haven't looked into it yet. I haven't seen the need for it. I thought I might, but I know that I seen one guy from Tennessee, Bassingrass. He had one and he didn't like a foot pedal. Y'all can watch his video about that. But other than that, yes, 100%, I recommend the MotorGuide Xi3, with or without the GPS, however you want it, whatever's going to suit your needs. And that's another thing I did want to say. I didn't know how it was going to work, but both of these remotes do still. I mean, this remote will still run this. So, you know, I've had two people on the boat at a time. Sometimes I'll throw this remote to the other person just in case. You know, if I'm down messing with a fish, they can turn us away from stuff. So, anyway, so everything still works like it should with this one, and then all your GPS function is on this remote. So, other than that, yes, 100%. I would love. I love this trolling motor, and I think that you know, I think it would be a good buy for somebody looking to get into something with GPS. So, anyway, I thought this would be a helpful video since I did the install, so, you know, a year ago. I love it. Wouldn't change it. I have no desire to get a different one. So, anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this helped y'all out. If it did, leave me a comment, leave me a like, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.